Hi everyone, this is Margaret Manning with 60andMe. I would like to talk with you today about friendship. I was just thinking the other day about all the wonderful friends that I have on Facebook, the people that I treasure, very precious to me, and the people who I know very well, who I can reach out to when I have something on my mind or need a piece of advice, and of course my family who are always there to support you and be close. But I was thinking about friends I made as I was a child, when I was a child, and how important they were to me. And how, of course, I've lost touch with most of them. We've moved apart physically and emotionally. But I was thinking today how important they are, and how the friends that I made when I was a child and a teenager were people that loved me for what I was. They just loved me unconditionally. Nobody knew how I was going to turn out, whether I would end up being very successful or have money or a big house or not, or just how successful I'd be in my life. They didn't measure me by, by my accomplishments, but they measured me by a heart connection. They just liked me. They just thought that I was a good person. I was the person they invited to their birthday party, or to spend time with when they had something on their mind. And I think these early friendships are really, really precious. I think about my friends in college. Again, unconditional. I mean, we shared common classes or similar passions and interests, but we didn't really know much about how each other would turn out. And that didn't stop us from really digging deep in our friendship and listening to each other and caring about what we were going through. And so these friendships that we made in our childhood and our early teen years, I think it's really important. And I guess I'm just wondering how many you've sought out. I found a couple of friends through Facebook, and that's been really amazing. One person I hadn't seen in I think 30 years, and we met in Las Vegas, and where she's now living, and just said, "Oh wow, let's catch up on the last 30 years." And surprisingly, we actually had an amazing talk, and it was incredible how our lives had evolved. But I think that maybe there's a time in your life where you have to sort of look, the people that you fell into friendships with accidentally, at work, or because you had a common interest, or traveled together, or maybe because you were a mother, you had a circle of friends, to kind of let those friends go, and if they're not adding value to your life, and maybe go back and find some friends who you knew when you were younger, who knew you before you became who you are today. Maybe it's too painful. Maybe there's some memories that are associated. So it's kind of a complex question. But a woman called Diana Robb wrote an article that I read on Huffington Post recently about this whole idea of who are the valuable friends? How do you know when to hold on to a friend? And she raised a question that I think is kind of interesting. And I'd like to ask you to give me your answer. And thank Diana for the idea. And that is, if you're lying on your deathbed and there's a line of people waiting to say goodbye to you, and you have been able to choose who's in that line, who would be there? And why did you make that choice? I think it's a really interesting question. Look forward to your comments and to the conversation. Thanks, everyone.